Alrighty, shifters, who's ready?
And the crowd goes wild.
Sports shift.
Yeah, we are in the sports mode today. And I think in general, people are all geared up for all kinds of sports. Some seasons are closing, some aren't. We've seen with the teacher strike, the school sports were on hold, and now they're trying to kind of get caught up a little bit. So, yeah, a few things happening. Major League, NHL. We're going to talk on some of those things. But first, I would like to hear how your Halloween was, Cari.
Halloween. So I went to Pumpkins After Dark. A good friend of mine, so I actually got tickets for Pumpkins After Dark in September, like kind of the earlier part in September, because usually these kinds of events fill up really fast in the city. And then I had also booked Ghost Tour around that kind of same week within a few days of each other. So I was like, oh yeah, I'm going to go. And then I booked it for Halloween because I was like, I really want to go and be in the Halloween spirit and go do the things. And it was actually quite perfect because people were out trick-or-treating, so it wasn't very busy. And then second of all, it was the Jays game as well. So people were at home watching the Jays game. Last year when I went to Pumpkins After Dark. So Pumpkins After Dark, real quick, they take Winsport, aka Canada Olympic Park, and they have displays within the park, like it's around the luge track. So you can walk up the pathway and you walk around, and then they have a whole bunch of different displays with pumpkins, and it's different themes. So they had like the Charlie Brown characters, and they had Scooby-Doo characters, and then they had like your typical Halloween villains and some like ghosts and goblins and whatever like that. So they kind of sprinkle it within the pathway, and you can walk around and take pictures or have your picture with a display or whatever. And it's really cute. And then the queue area, they have a whole bunch of vendors set up and booths and giant like pumpkins and ghosts and things that you can sit on and then do like selfies or whatever. So it's really cute. Last year was my first time that I went, and it was, I think, about 2 weeks before Halloween, and it was busy, like busy. People lined up like crazy to even just enter into the venue. Whereas this year it was like you will walk right in. So I was like, score.
And then to do it right on Halloween makes it really fun too.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. So I like to, because I know I'm not as everyone knows, our audience knows, I'm not like I love fall, but winter is like, right? Like, Dina and I were the same. We don't chill with winter. Like it comes, whatever. But this is the show. We are shifting our perspectives on different holidays and different things. Like, how can we make it a more positive experience? So I'm looking for more positive things to do and fun things to do around each season to be excited for. Right. So that's, so with the sports seasons intertwined, throughout the fall and winter with hockey and with the Jays game, like the baseball and, even football, our CFL, and we are getting into Grey Cup and yeah, right. So
I actually will half time. I'm going to have to go put on my riders. I should have it all layered up here.
I was thinking the same. I was like going to put my Flames jersey over top, and then I actually have an LA Kings hat too that I could have worn, but I don't have any baseball caps that are sporty.
Well, I went with the Jays because I was wearing the Oilers jersey. Like, yeah, I like representing, and I don't know how many riders. I've got 2 riders t-shirts and a jersey, and that's not even a super fan, yeah. But my teams are doing pretty freaking good this year. So yeah, Oilers are having, a slow start, but they're doing okay.
Same.
We kept McDavid. He was very generous to stay with us again. So we're appreciating that.
Right.
Um,
Thank you. Thank you.
I
And
want to
that's what
get,
it's about. I find everyone's like, oh, you should be cheering for this team or cheer for that team. What I love about sports in general, it doesn't matter what team you cheer for, it's the players
Mhm.
that really make the team. I think everyone has a favorite player on whatever team. It could be a football team, it could be a baseball team, it could be whatever. And it's scattered. And it's just because you have a love for sports and a love for that player. And you're just like, I don't care. Like, I've had Calgary players that go to different teams and you still cheer for them. I've had LA Kings players, they go out elsewhere, you cheer for them, Oilers, whatever. Right. So it's continuous. And that's what I love about it. It's so universal. Right.
yeah, it is. I think for myself, it's more the team. Then there's, players make it different every year. Who's there, how well they play together. It's it's more the team. But definitely when you see other players doing well on a in another city, you're happy for them. Like that's good.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's to the detriment of the team they left because they have to play against them. But what I really love too is there was an example shared, some commentators during one of the Oiler games, I believe it was, and this season they were on the ice, warm like pregame, just about to start, and the opposing team was there, and they did go back. Somebody had noticed it, and so they
Mhm.
did find it on film, and one of the players went over to a player on the other team, and not somebody he's played with, not somebody he's close to. Like there's no history there that they're buddies, but
Yeah.
he knew that this guy's brother, I believe it was, had just died,
Oh,
and like recently died. I think it was his brother, and this person that initiated going over there had lost his dad maybe in the last year, something to that effect. But he just went over and had said, "Hey, sorry, for
yeah.
like whatever, sorry for your loss," or whatever. And he, there's that,
Oh,
and then they go out on the ice and play against each other. But there's that brotherhood, and there's that community and caring, and they're real humans out there. They're just getting paid to do something super fun and paid
right.
very well to do something super fun. But talking towards what you're saying, like when you have your favorite players, that's a class act. Like that's really admirable. And they do support each other through things like that. And I
Yeah,
think
I love that.
everybody's hearts broke when the Goudreau brothers were, so suddenly like just taken, like
Yeah,
both gone. And it doesn't matter what teams they have played for or were playing for, everybody's heart was breaking for their families. So
yeah,
there's a lot of
absolutely.
respect, I think, built too. And yeah, so there's so many different sports. The
Yeah,
big ones, the major league ones are all top of mind. That's the one. That's where we are. In general, larger populations are polarized towards their favorites. But in the local towns too, everybody's got their little local teams that they cheer for.
that's
And
right.
when you start thinking about sports, like I was even thinking, what are all the sports that use a ball? Like everything from lacrosse and golf and baseball and basketball and all those things. There's all those sports use, some of them have skates,
Type of
some
ball.
have
Yeah,
they're
skates.
runners,
Yeah,
some are indoor, some are outdoor, some include animals, like most of the rodeo events. Or there's
dog
dog
sledding.
competitions, yeah,
Yeah,
dog sledding or the agility. I mean, it just goes on. There's more solo sports, and then there's more team sports. There's so many ways to be active or involved in a sport, and I just think it's a beautiful way to meet people, to learn new skills, to have fun, and to get some exercise.
yeah, I totally agree. I think sports is one of those things, along with music, is a very
Yeah.
universal language for like the entire world. You can hate a different country, whatever, but then all of a sudden, like you're both on the same team and you're like, yeah, let's go. Like it's really interesting to see how we all do just come along. But even if like, there were a couple posts floating around on Facebook and Instagram, and it was like, how Oilers and the Flames are rivals, but yet there's like a Flames fan and an Oilers fan. They're both like high-fiving each other. and they're both like wearing Jays hats because, we're both Canadian. And it's like, yeah, we're cheering on a Canadian team. We want to see Canada go far. So it doesn't matter a love or hate for whatever team, but it will always still bring people together, and you still cheer, and you're just like, yeah, just go. And I know even we were discussing when it came to the Stanley Cup, how, one of our teams would be out. I think Flames are out first, and the Oilers were going on because you were, so, but,
Better.
but I would be like, no, like, let's go Oilers, because let's keep it in Canada. Like,
keep it in
so
Canada.
a lot of people were like, they didn't care. We're like, okay, Oilers, Flames are out. Who cares? Like, let's go. Like, bring the cup home.
Well,
so it's such a
the
love.
other thing and the other thing is, you don't even have to speak the same language if you know how to play the same sport, or you can even teach another person by just demonstrating. And I mean, one of the Jays players, I think it was, that had a translator there.
Yeah.
And
So cool.
he was a pitcher, and he doesn't even speak the language fully. So, there's a way to really integrate different cultures and different ages, even, to enjoy that kind of a fun, and that little bit of that competition, right? It brings that out in people too.
Yeah, I believe there are so many good morals and good qualities that sports can bring out. So, as we said, sportsmanship is number one. So how do we play nicely with each other? And then how do we play nicely against the other team, the opposing team? Yeah, you could have a little fun with it, get your digs in, whatever, and heckle them or whatever. But are you walking away by saying, yeah, good team, like, good job today, you guys played well, sorry you lost, or great you won? What are you feeding back to each other? And then you can also give constructive criticism. Say, hey, I love the way that you hit, can you teach me? How do I hit like that? Or like, oh, well, maybe you're kind of hitting a little rough and you should just back off. Like, you shouldn't be hitting so high on the boards, maybe a little lower, just kind of watch out for that. But generally, there are many things, like, you have to be in uniform. A lot of kids, teenagers, they're growing up, and you'll see in our schools here, especially, I believe, it's universal that, especially North America, they'll be like, if you are in the football team in school, they're going to make the kids wear suit and tie, or at least a tie, to class on game day, just to represent, going, okay, like, it's game day, we're serious, and we want to represent. Here we go. And they're unified. So the unification of a team is so beautiful to see, that everyone's on the same page and they're standing up for each other. And this is a team. We go at it together. We face the goods and bads together. And just like you said, even though there was a hockey player who lost his dad earlier in the year, and then someone had just lost their brother, just to go over and say, hey, we may be on separate teams, but I still am unified with you in the fact that we're still human. We have these emotions. We lost someone in our family, and I'm here for you. So these are good morals. What other morals do you think sports brings out in teams or individuals?
What you mentioned too, with, we'll see it with hockey teams. I'm seeing it now with the ringette at certain levels. They do encourage them to dress more formally, and I think it just naturally raises that level of professionalism and conduct. So they're probably less likely to act stupid or immature if they're dressed a little more formally, right? And it does communicate something when they walk into an arena, say, en masse, and they look professional and they're acting that way. So I think that actually, I'm seeing it on some younger and younger teams. It's actually really fun to see some of, you see all these little hockey players come in and they're dressed in nice, fancy dress pants, or at least a tie, like you said. And they look like little grown-ups, and they tend to act a little more mature that way too.
They look like me. I'm professional.
The other thing is around the competition and something I've caught, like I've coached sports before, and I remember saying to some of the kids, because we would show up, say, to a ball game, and they're getting out, and right away I caught them, some of them saying, "Oh, there's those other, you know," and they were
Yeah.
kind of calling down the other team, and I went, "Whoa, whoa, whoa!" How would you like to hear them say that about you? They don't even know you, and
This is a
you don't know
non-filtered show,
them,
so
and yeah, but
what did they say?
they're well, there were a variety of comments, but and then secondly, without them, you have no game. You're not playing a sport
Yeah.
here today. There's no game. So, and the same goes for the much hated refs and umps and the officials in games. People love to hate them, but as a parent of now a second person acting as a referee in our family, I I just, and even having been a coach, I just think, like, let's have some respect. Yes, they don't always make the right call. Hey, they're human. But without them, again, we have no game. You can't play the game if you don't have the officials
Yeah.
there
Look
doing
at
their job.
wrestling.
So,
If wrestling you didn't have like a referee, then they're going to be fighting forever. Like
yeah.
they can't tag someone out. Like, they can go 1, 2, 3, but no one's there to go, okay, you're out,
Yeah. He's unconscious. Should we stop this?
So is it game over or round 2? What are we
Yeah.
doing here? The officials make
Yeah.
everything. And in a way, because they're so unique to each sport, they are still very involved, because you'll hear like, oh yeah, the crowd will be like, oh, refs, you bad call or this call. But then you get the love of it too, where it's like a good call. And they're like, oh
Yeah.
yeah, refs, like, it was a good call, right? So, and at the end of the game, though, I really do think that they don't get enough recognition. So when they leave the arena, no one's like high-fiving them on the way out.
No.
Like at the end of the game, one of the teams win, they're all shaking hands. Are they shaking the ref's hand at the end? Are they saying, thank you for reffing? More of the major leagues, they sort of do. I've kind of seen that. But the little league games and that stuff, not necessarily the players, but it might be the parents that may walk over and go, hey, thanks for reffing or something. So I think that's one thing we could teach the younger generation, is say, hey, don't forget about the refs. Like, they're important because they're calling the games. They're calling you out, literally.
Yep. Yeah.
So,
It was interesting during the playoffs here for the World Series with Major League Baseball that there were actually several challenges made to the umpire calls that were overturned and didn't stand on the field. And that was really interesting. And then there were some that weren't overturned. We all have our we have our
like,
opinions, but we weren't there. And yeah, and it didn't end up going in the Jays' favor overall in the end. I think, I don't know about you, but I heard this from a few people that the very last plays that were made caught us completely off guard. We knew that we were in extra innings. It would only, there was like one run was up and we were up to bat and we only had one out. And then all of a sudden a double play was made and the announcers went, oh, the Dodgers are the World Series champs. And we were all just kind of sitting there going, what just happened?
like,
oh yeah.
yeah.
Like, even though you understand baseball, that 2 more out makes 3 out and the game is over and you didn't win, but it just happened so fast. And we were all just sitting there going, oh, it's done, because we're now in the 11th inning. And it was just, I think, really, we had our hopes up and then we just saw it slide again.
Yeah,
so
literally slide.
Yep.
It was definitely sitting on your edge of the seat, like suspenseful game. I would have to say, I think we have now gained a lot more baseball fans overall. People have not really watched baseball as much, but it was like, forget hockey, like baseball's where it's at right now. Because you are, like you said, there were changes happening almost as quickly as, flipping a page and you're like, what just happened? Like, are you serious? Because like hockey, it's the same thing. You know, you're going into overtime and it's like one goal and that's it. But for some reason, it was so like unexpected. And you were just like,
Yeah.
what? Like that? No, like,
Well, I think we thought we would have it. I thought we'd have it
I
on
thought there was
Halloween
going to be a
night.
couple more innings, honestly. I
Well,
didn't
the
think it would
way,
just
yeah,
be
we
like,
did have an 18 inning game earlier in the series, and so
yeah,
I think we just thought, well, here we go again.
yeah,
Let's
buckle
just
up.
sit in for this. And in Toronto, where it was being played, it was already past midnight, and it was just long. And ball games are long, anyways, especially compared to hockey and some of the other sports. But I was kind of surprised that they scheduled to play on Halloween night for one thing. That seemed odd. Like you say, there were people that actually didn't even weren't out. Like
No,
we only had one kid show up for trick or treating, which is only like normally we might get five, but yeah, just where is everybody?
right. I heard a couple people on Facebook saying how some parents would have like the game on their phone and they were walking around with their kids and doing the trick or treating. Great, but not great. You're not really involved in that
Mhm.
child's you know, trick or treating, right? They're taking away that experience from them and being excited because you're watching the game, but then you want to watch the game. Like it's one of those, how do we shift that perspective of maybe just go trick or treating first and then come back and watch the game? Maybe.
Well, and if
I
they'd
don't
and they had the potential to win that night. So I think everybody
know.
wanted to be able to say, I remember when, like I saw it, saw it happen. Something that was interesting, uh, and I've kind of done this a little bit over the years too, or my family has. Out of curiosity, a team that maybe you're cheering for, how many of them are actually Canadians? So what will happen in the playoffs sometimes, say with hockey, maybe your favorite team's out. So now who am I going to cheer for? Well, let's see of the teams that are still playing, who has the most Canadian players on their team, and let's cheer for them.
Yeah.
And the Jays only have one. Guerrero Jr. was born in Montreal when his dad played for the Expos, Montreal Expos.
Wow.
None of the others are even Canadian.
Does
So
that feel?
it's Canada's team, but there's one Canadian on it. I mean the rock star, but
Yeah.
still.
Yeah. I find that so interesting. But hey, you get drafted to that team and you got to represent Canada, then you got to represent. So it's
Hmm.
really good to see it. At least they had one player that was Canadian. Could you imagine if the whole team wasn't Canadian?
Yeah.
But do you think, because now we're like, you know, the shift show, so they would have to shift a perspective of going, okay, I'm representing another country now,
Yeah.
or I'm representing another province or whatever, wherever they're from. Oh, you said they were the only one Canadian, so it was a totally different country. So could you
Hmm.
imagine now you have to completely, like, your family's from Venezuela, your family's from United States, wherever you're from, you're now representing Canada, and your team, your family is used to cheering for their own country, and now they're cheering for Canada. What a shift.
Yeah. Well, and that it's funny how that can happen. Now in the Olympics, your roots are to be from,
That
that you
country.
represent the country that where
Yeah.
you're actually born. But there's even some of the high level, say ringette. There's a team that is a U.S. team, and they're playing as a there's it's an entered into tournaments as a U.S. team, but the majority of the players are born in Canada and live in Canada, like they're from Canada. So it can be, but that's those Canadians kids' chance to play at that level, and so they are playing. They're a Canadian playing for an American team because that's their opportunity to
What do
play the
you think?
sport. So it comes down to your priorities too, right? Like, are you going to just let your national pride get in the way of your opportunities to grow as an athlete?
It's a good question, right?
Yeah, and then I also want to talk about the Olympics a little bit because I mean that's sports kind of on steroids, and
Oh,
it's a whole
February.
world competition. And so um it it's been funny, some of the sports that they have brought to those Olympics sometimes, and how that has evolved over time. Like there was the
Break
breakdancing. I
dancing.
think we talked about that a little bit.
I'm like, what?
Some of the things they've tried to add.
I think that's the craziest. Break dancing. And then is there pickleball too? Did they add
It might
pickleball?
have been. I could
Right?
see that more. I
Yeah.
mean, it's similar
It's becoming
to
a bigger
like a
sport.
tennis or
Yeah,
yeah.
table tennis for sure. And regular tennis, right? Kind of combined. It's just interesting to see. I always thought like curling, well, I mean, curling is definitely a good sport, but I don't know. What are some unexpected sports? Like,
Well, I know some that I find extremely boring is curling. Like,
speaking of
actually, Paul
curling,
just mentioned that the other day. They were at a rink for ringette, and next
yeah,
door was a curling club, and they were teaching little kids to curl. And he said, "You know how boring it is to watch some of these sports when kids are learning it? Can you imagine watching
I
kids
think that
who
would
are
be so
learning
cute.
curl?" Oh, not to me. Yeah, I guess. Oh no, it'd be
They're
so
falling
boring.
all over the place. They got these big, huge brooms that they're
Oh my
trying to,
God.
and you got to move their whole
They must
body.
make kid-sized rooms.
Like, I think it'd be cute.
They
I
must.
remember in high school, for sports, we actually did for a phys ed unit, we actually did curling. And it was actually quite fun.
Yeah, I've done it
Yeah,
a couple times.
roll the
It was
rock down there and
yeah,
and then we're all like, hard, hurry, like we're all
yeah,
screaming and we're laughing, and then people are falling over and having fun. And then you get
yeah.
like the eyes from like your phys ed teacher, and we're like, it's okay, we're good. Like, sorry. But again,
Well, and then
it's the
there's
unification and
sports
having fun.
exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
What about fishing? There's sport fishing, there's competitions, race cars, that's a sport. Yeah, the bowling, golf, broomball. Uh, there's so many
And
ways to get out there and have fun and meet other people and give it a try, right? Just
is
give it a try. There's a
paddleboarding
lot
a
of times
sport?
is what paddleboarding?
Yeah.
Sure, why
Could
not?
it be an Olympic sport? Because that would be really fun.
Racing or how or
Paddleboard
doing
racing.
obstacle courses?
Wouldn't
Obstacle
that be,
courses,
yeah.
what would you do?
Maybe like a
Would it be
relay
a
type
timed
of,
event?
yeah, you could do timed, like
Did
a
you include
sprint.
pumping it up like you just
Holy
like you gotta
cow, that
pump
is
your
a
own
workout in itself to just get to like
yeah.
15 psi. Like you're done. Okay, by 7, by the time it gets to 1 bar, blowing that sucker up, I'm like, that's my arm
Yeah.
workout for the day. I literally need like 5 minutes to recover and then I can get on the water. Hence why I got an electric pump, because then it takes away all that
Yeah,
work.
good.
And then you can just
Otherwise, you're
go
over puking in the bushes.
have fun. That could be a sport though, blowing up your board.
It
Totally.
could.
Competition. But I think you could race, definitely. Like you try to get one in and back, or go around some floating buoys or something, collect things, and kind of like, Survivor little series, paddleboard Survivor series. I'm going to talk to someone about that. It would be
You
fun.
should get on that. You
Yeah.
find the email of the Olympic Committee and start
Like,
petitioning them
excuse
for
me,
that,
I
Cari.
am just a newbie, but
Yeah, but I'm
they
so
have a
excited.
witch's paddle this year too. So you could dress as a witch and go paddle boarding, and yeah, pretty cool. And it was for a charity event. So I didn't go because I found out about it last minute, but next year definitely want to do that. So those are other sports, but they're not classified as like Olympic sports or whatever like that. Same with, I mean, rowing is, and sailing.
Well, yeah, there's sports that don't necessarily involve a high level of competition. It's more maybe you're competing with yourself or against a clock
Against the
and
wind,
that
against
against
the
the wind.
current. Don't fall in the water. You're good.
Something that I am passionate about, and when I was coaching in a small town, there would be some kids that their families didn't have them in sports. Like well, we'll get into that. My own personal feelings on not being allowed to go to all the school sports that I wanted to play. But when I was coaching as a parent, and you would see some kids show up who really wanted to play, but they would just sit and watch, and their parents hadn't signed them up for whatever reason. I remember wanting to just go, and it didn't cost a lot, but just go pay for their registration, lend them a glove, and let them play. But I don't know if today I would do that differently, and I would just go ahead and be damned with the consequences. But I didn't know, like I would give them rides if they like I had thought it through. Like I would make it happen, so that they could go to the away games and be part of the team, help with the uniform, like the deposit on that, and everything. But then would I offend that family? Or I hesitated, but I knew growing up I wanted to play all the school sports. And we didn't live, we were 12 miles out of town. It wasn't like it was a really big deal, but my parents, weren't on board for that. And I did play ball a couple of the years. It's a short season. I went when I was at the point I could drive myself, and that was it. But I missed out on all that extracurricular with the volleyball and badminton and, all of those things. And it really I still am resentful about that, because I would have learned those skills. I would have had that outside of that extracurricular, like outside of school time, because I wasn't allowed to go partying and whatever. So that would have been my socializing, fun
sports
stuff.
isn't partying. I know, like those
sports.
Yeah.
And I think like the sports is an incredible way to meet people. You go off from, maybe you've grown up in this town and now you go to this city for university or for school or for work. And instead of meeting people at parties or, that kind of thing, go out and get involved in some sport in whatever way. And you're going to meet people that are more than likely similar to you. And it's way more fun. Plus you get some exercise.
Yeah. Yeah. And then you can go out with your team after for beers or whatever anyways. Yeah. So you're getting best of both worlds.
Yeah.
Really, as I see it. But it's just one of those things where when you're on a team, everyone will welcome you. Because like you said, it's just that love of sport that brings people together. Like, oh, hey, yeah, another player. Great. We needed another player. We need a back catcher. We need whoever. So glad you can come. Everyone's more than happy to be able to have you on a team.
Especially if you're a girl on a slow pitch team, because they're usually short of enough girls on the team. And for that reason too, around the kids that don't always have access to sports, Kids Sport is my favorite charity, because that money stays in your community, and it actually helps make sports accessible for kids. And there's other ways that you can do, like there's other organizations that offer ways for kids to be involved without it having to burden the parents with a lot of extra expense or trying to always get them there. But sometimes they're willing to take them, or they can find rides and carpools, but the costs can be insane.
Right. Well, Underground Radio C, we are partnered with Kids Play Foundation. So I know all about Kids Up Front, and it's amazing. Like they're working with, I wouldn't actually say really youth, but they're trying to get as many kids and teenagers involved in sports, but not just sports, but other activities as well, so that they can come together and feel unified. And whether it's playing a sport or actually watching a sport, they're trying to make it accessible for those who can't afford it, can't come. So they're like, then maybe there's a cricket game, we want to come and play cricket, or we need volunteers. They will love volunteers to come out and help. So, and there's many opportunities out there to be able to do that. Not just that, oftentimes people don't understand, like there's city programs as well. I know there's all sport one day. So if your kids are under the age of 12, you can sign them up for sports, and like there's 4 or 5 different little activities they can do in one day in the summertime. I think there's 2 times in the summer that they can go and they can get into a few little different little sports and do it, which is a great opportunity. There's kids bowl free during the summertime as well. So if you love bowling and it's one of those things where it's like you can't afford it, then you can sign up. Kids bowl free. And there's a few different little bowling alleys that will take on your kids. And I think you just may have to pay for the shoe rental or something, but it's very, very low cost. Like the games are free. So, and then look around for camps. A lot of summer camps and a lot of sporting camps. And you can always talk to a coach or talk to someone involved and say, hey, this is my financial situation. A lot of times you may not have to pay full price, or they have like programs where you can just pay like, a little bit here, a little bit there, and you don't have to put the full money down.
And it's supplemented maybe somehow.
Yeah. And then of course we can't forget Canadian Tire has their Jumpstart program as well. So they are definitely involved. So I love that. Well, that's just Calgary. So I love that about our city where, we come together as a unified city, just like a team would, and be able to get those kids onto a team. I'm the same as you. If I see, I've volunteered for schools before, and I've taught swimming lessons growing up. I was a camp counselor. I did all the things. And I remember kids sitting out and they're like, oh, I just don't feel comfortable playing, or I don't want to do this. And, it can be a self-confidence thing, but you have to kind of hold their hand and go, okay, well, I'll come out there with you. And, or let's get the big guys and let's throw dodgeball at them and get them and turn it completely around to have fun, so that fear and the, I don't want to, becomes the ammunition to, let's do it. Let's have some fun and take out the bad guys, or take down someone's knees with that, floor hockey stick or whatever it may be, right? Just to build that confidence, because often they might be a single kid, like their only kid at home, and they don't know how to play, right? They may not be offered to do sports, or when they're in school, they're like, I'm not even, like they sit out in phys ed because they don't know how to play with other people, right? They don't have those skills. So learning those skills over time, teaching them, okay, how do we play together? How do we face these little fears and just go baby steps is, it's truly important. And then like for yourself, Dina, now that you're older, you're able to get your grandkids involved and be able to get your, play with your kids and enjoy it in that sense. I'm sorry you missed out on sports growing up. Well, I was the opposite. I was a sports guru. I did swimming until I went all the way up to almost bronze medallion. I was in volleyball and basketball. Our teams were in city finals. We won city finals as well. So, it was quite fun. But yeah, so I had those memories. But again, now we have to make those new memories and go, okay, like how can we fulfill that as an adult and go out there and do the things that you really want to do? And now you can include, your family and include them in going, let's go and have some fun.
I love that when it's intergenerational as well, because there's a lot of sports that support that. And it's a really great way for all those ages to have fun together, to learn from each other. And, little kids think it's pretty cool when they can see their parents who maybe they've never seen in a competition like that, or their grandparents, aunts and uncles, whatever it might be, to have some of those skills. And they're like, whoa, this is really cool. And it inspires them to keep on being active through their lives too. And also, sports gives us a really great opportunity to not only learn but to teach how to be a good winner and a good loser, and how to be a team player, how to speak up, how to encourage, how to accept that constructive criticism, how to accept coaching. Not everybody is naturally coachable, and to learn how to be more coachable and to realize the benefits of being more coachable. And yeah, what I did when I got older is I went out and started playing some of those, like volleyball, adult recreation volleyball, or beginner pickleball, or whatever it might be, or go to a driving range once in a while, even though I'm not too thrilled about learning how to golf, but I realize that's one sport that might be an option as I get older. So maybe learn it when I'm younger. There's a lot to be said for the benefits of being involved in sport. And not everybody is a team sport personality, and that is perfectly fine. There's other things like, rock climbing and like the driving, some of those others a little more solo sports that are available to them as well.
Yeah, well, even if you're in the Olympics too, there are combinations of sport like team and solo. Like if you're a gymnast,
Right.
you're still representing your team, like Team Canada. You're still representing that team as a whole, but you're singled out as a gymnast, and you're going out there, even swimming, even whatever it may be during the Olympics. Like you are still representing as a whole, but you're out there as a solo player. So
how does that work for breakdancing, Cari? Do you remember? Was it a team and then solo? Asking for a friend.
Tag team. Actually, I mean, there could be like a crew of dancers, right? So you could, but I think they only had solo break dancers representing a country. Was it 2 countries?
I don't know.
3 countries. You know what? Even though we laugh at it.
No, they were trying. They got out there. They got out there.
Yeah. Dance is an actual sport. You have to put, I was in a hip hop dance crew once upon a time for about a semester. And the hours, holy smokes. The dedication, the hours to go in, and it is training like you would not believe. So you have to be in shape to be able to go and withstand like a 4-hour rehearsal. Yes. And then be able to go in. If you're learning choreography and you got a show in a week, you're in there 4 to 6 hours. And you are like, whether you work during the day or not, it doesn't matter. You still have to be there, and you have to be there on time. Just like all your other sports, you have to be there early or show up on time. Make sure you're wearing your uniform. Make sure your mind is, right in it. You're giving it your all, but it's hard. It's dedication.
There was a show, Kyle found it a couple of years ago, I think it was, and I think it was called Ultimate Sports or.
Yeah. It was the Ultimate Frisbee.
Well, it was something, but it was things you would never expect. One of it, I mean, some of it was like there was these extreme surfers that are surfing on like 10-story high waves, things like that. But then there was some it was way in like Siberia or somewhere like that. And the sport they had was on horseback, and they had like a dead goat, this great, like they would swing it and try and get it. Did they try and walk?
Can you build your igloo
or throw it into a pit or so? I don't remember what it was, but like there are some really out there things that we've, never even heard of, or we think, what?
The weirdest sports in the world.
But it's kind of like what that tells me is we have this innate sense of play and competition and finding things that we can do together as a team, or to compete, or to show, so maybe it was to show some superiority in certain skills, however that evolved.
Chili cook-offs.
We have this in us that we just naturally want to do that.
Yeah. I was just laughing. I was like, chili cook-offs. Team sport and a solo sport. If you're helping grandma, mash up the ground beef and whatever. Yeah. But that's very competitive.
It can be, yes. Soup cook-offs, yeah.
They go actually hand in hand. You can have, your hockey tournaments, and then the moms and grandmas bring their chili or their soups, and there you go, right? So
I won an apple peeling contest one time.
Oh, look at that. Yeah. I won
You had to have the longest peel.
Oh.
That's what it was. Yeah.
Did you do the entire apple?
Oh, yeah.
Like a pro?
Like a pro.
I threw a, what do you call those? Kneading. This is how much I use them. A pinwheel thingy, like your.
Well, the apple peeler?
No, like, the dough. You're reeling the dough.
Or rolling pin?
There we go, rolling pin. What the heck are those things called? Rolling pin. So yeah, one time we had a competition how far you can throw a rolling pin.
To throw one? Wow. That sounds like axe throwing technique.
Kind of, yeah. and axe throwing, right? And archery,
Mm-hmm.
like those are pretty cool sports, like to see how far you can throw things.
Yeah. How about strongman competitions?
Right? Or the timber ones where they got to
Timberjack?
climb like all the jacks one, like
Yeah.
that's insane. The strongman one was they have to pull trucks.
Yeah.
And you're like,
Or they're
what?
flipping big tractor tires and
How do you go and find your skill? Like you just go out one day and they're like, halt, you're on Deerfoot. Can I pull your truck for a minute?
yeah.
I just want to see something. And it's like a 5-year-old. Right. But it's so interesting to see all these sports and how they came up with them, and but it's actually really neat to use your imagination and go, hey, this is a great sport and this is what we're doing.
Well, and I
But then
wonder
to
how
see it
many
go to the Olympics is so cool
yeah, I wonder how many more new sports will
up
be
here.
invented.
Chess. Isn't chess a sport too? Chess
Sure.
competitions.
Yeah. Okay.
Now, how much of a sport would qualify as sport if it's a mental thing or a physical thing?
Right. I did not look up the definition of a sport. I bet Carrie's going to do that right now. So, what's your favorite sport to play, and what's your favorite sport to watch?
Oh, paddleboarding to play. No, I'm just kidding. I love watching hockey. Definition of sport. So to play, oh my goodness, man. That's really hard. It is really hard because
You can pick two.
I'm just
that helps.
actually gonna say paddleboarding. No, swimming. Swimming is probably one of my more favorite ones because I kind of grew up with that. However, I'm always at the gym and stuff, and I've been doing more yoga, and so I'm always a very physical person to begin with. But having to choose one sport, it's so tough. I don't know. I can't. Have you ever played the crash mat game of like rounders?
No.
So it's like softball, but you have to. It's like kickball. So you kick the ball and you have to run to the base. Only the base is a crash mat, and you have to run and dive on it to make it all the way, and just be safe.
Really?
So fun.
Wow. It
So
does
fun.
sound fun.
Right? So baseball, only you're using like one of those red rubber balls and you just go for it. Like it's just great. So sport is a noun. It is an activity involving physical exertion and skill.
It can also be okay.
No, that's what
Go ahead.
I'm just reading the definition. So an activity involving
Keep going.
physical
Keep going.
exertion and skill that is governed by a set of rules or customs and often undertaken competitively. Such activities considered as a group, as usually challenging activity undertaken for amusement, fun, amusement, an object of mockery, jest, or play. So this is what our good old
So it's saying physical. So
physical. So
yeah,
not
there's
mental.
not a whole lot of physical involved in chess, which was what prompted this question.
Right.
So, but then you can also be a good sport. So that's also a noun.
Yeah. According to rules for employment.
Or if you are sporting, is that a verb potentially?
So if you just go, another site is saying something similar, but it's saying a game, competition, or activity needing physical effort and skill that is played or done according to rules for employment and or as a job. So like football, basketball,
Oh, yes.
hockey.
Okay. Professionals.
So more professionally, that's another
Yeah.
definition of that.
Okay.
Interesting.
Interesting.
Very interesting.
Good. Well, I'm happy we solved that.
Well, there's that. I don't think that's completely true, but
Well, you have another email to write, Cari. More
oh,
lobbying to do.
more lobbying to.
You're busy
Who
all
wants
night.
to sign my petition?
Yeah.
Paddleboarding is the newest Olympic sport. Let's go.
What is the newest Olympic sport?
Winter sport or summer sport?
Either.
I don't know. Did we Google? Do we have time to Google it?
We got a couple minutes left.
Okay, just for shits and giggles.
Yep.
Newest winter Olympic sport. Let's find out, kids. If anybody knows, put it in the comments. All right. The newest winter Olympic sport is ski mountaineering, which will make its debut at the 2026 Winter Olympics in Milan and in Cortina d'Ampezzo, I can't say it, Italy. This sport involves athletes racing up and down mountainous terrain on skis, combining skiing and mountaineering skills. Almost like a triathlon, if you honestly.
Yeah. Are they skeet shooting as well?
No, it doesn't say that they're skeet
Only
shooting.
if they bump into a bear.
It's the wimpy one.
Yeah.
It's summer
So
sport.
what about summer?
Let's check it out.
Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun.
Dun, dun, dun. It is breakdancing, which made its
Are they-
debut at the 2024 Paris Olympics. Additionally, the LA 2028 Olympics will feature new sports like flag football.
Paddleboarding.
No. Flag football and squash.
Really? Interesting. Are they keeping the breakdancing is the question.
Yes. Oh, no. This sport will debut 2024 Paris Olympics, but will not be included in the 2028 games. Boo.
Oh, well, it was worth a shot, I guess. I tried.
It gave us some good laughs. Let's, but even though we laugh and we heckle and whatever, like I said,
Still respect to
it
them.
is still respect.
Yeah.
They made it to the Olympics.
Yeah.
It is a lot of time, a lot of energy going into something like that. Maybe people are making fun of you, maybe not. There's people there's Olympic skaters, like ice skaters being made fun of. There's vaulters, there's whatever. People are being made fun of, and yet they're out there showing who's the boss. And they're bringing home medals, and we're all sitting here at home going, do you have a medal to show for it?
Yeah. Can you
Probably
say you
not.
were at the Olympics and competed at an Olympic level?
Right. There's a difference from sitting in the stands, kids, to being out there. Like, we're at home going, get the puck in. Like, just go from here to over here and just go, and it's in. It's very different than when you're on the ice. And that was another real quick note I wanted to make, because mentally, it's really hard to be in any type of a sport mentally. Because again, bad days, good days, you need to be there every single day. You could have just lost someone in your family. You could have went through other major things in your life, like a divorce. You could have been in a car accident earlier, and you're just like, yeah, still got to play. Could be minus 30 out, and you got to go through traffic like a son of a bitch. There's so many issues that you have to deal with every single day. But mentally, how are we doing mentally, showing up just every single day for practice and being part of that team, or doing it solo? Could you imagine?
Well, and for many, that is a grounding space. It is a safe space to pull back into life, and it gives them a purpose to show up and to get going. And then you're there around your team, and the physical part of it is healthy for the mental health part of it too. Yeah. So I think there's definitely benefits for the mental part. And it does take a certain level of concentration and focus and commitment to be involved.
Mm-hmm.
And also just admitting if you're not loving it anymore, or
Yeah,
you
those pressures,
try
just like we
something
were
different.
saying, the Jays game, for example, that's actually kind of why we were thinking about doing this sports shift.
Mhm.
It was because the Jays game was on, and I was like, yeah, it'd be kind of good to talk about it because think about the mental pressure of winning. Like this is the way it was 32 years ago, they last won. All this pressure that they have on themselves, and then all of Canada as well, cheering and rooting for you, and you let all these people down, but at the same time, you showed up
And did your best.
and did your best and like just 1 point away.
Well, for the fans, I think there's some concern there sometimes that people can be very invested and to the point of it being unhealthy and
Oh,
forgetting that this isn't like a reflection of life. This is a sport.
yeah.
And I mean, isn't it part of the downfall of Rome, or, like they were worshiping the athletes beyond what
They
it
were
really
gods.
warranted. And so I think some people might have gotten really upset. I heard of some families that kids were screaming at the TV and they were crying, and like they were so invested in hoping, their emotions were so into it that it was really a difficult loss.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So we have to, like, where's that line,
Hmm.
right? Drawing the line of what's a healthy way to watch and participate and a healthy way to play. How is it affecting us emotionally when it becomes too far? Maybe double think it and go, hey, and are we teaching our children how to be a good sportsmanship and to watch and go, yeah, maybe they're going to lose. You can't tell them, oh, they're going to win. You have to let them know there is a 50-50 chance of that losing, but still going, hey, you know what? You lost, but way to go.
I
And
think,
there was lots of people on Facebook going, thank you, Jays,
yeah.
because they did a lot of hard work to go and represent, to be there. And they just the recognition of saying, like, thank you. It's
Well, then the other
huge.
lessons are, it can look like it's over and it's going to be done, but stick with it because it can turn around too. A little bit wanting to mention too about gambling and sports and how that, there's fun levels, and then there's
Yeah.
to the point of addiction levels. And I know I had said at one point during the excuse me, during the series,
Yeah.
that imagine how much money is riding on this World Series, from just your personal bets to the sports betting to, I can't even imagine.
Did you see the 50-50? There's
Yeah,
a
but it was
50.
only available to people in New Brunswick and Ontario, or I don't know, something like that. But yeah,
Was it $20 million
yeah,
was half the 50-50? Oof.
yeah,
I mean,
crazy.
look, that's great, but are you putting in $1 million and trying to bet on that and get it, and then you walk away with nothing, and then
Nothing.
you're in the hole?
Yeah. Well, that's gambling.
Yeah, right. And it's true. There is that fine line of gambling and having fun and healthy gambling. It's great to go, hey, here's $50. Like I was in a fantasy hockey pool for many years, and I go in with the same the same mentality. Oh, I'm gonna win. I'm gonna win this year, right?
Yep.
Was it last year? I don't think I played last year. The year before. Last year I bowed out gracefully because I kept losing. It was only $50. But the year before when I was in it, I did pretty good. For the first few weeks, I was like running in third. I was like, oh yeah, here we go. Like maybe I'll actually win
This is
this
my
year.
year.
Slowly I'm dipping down.
Yeah.
There's like 10 teams, and slowly my team is going further, ranking down further and further. And I'm like, oh well, here we go again. Like,
Yeah.
but it was fun because we could heckle each other, and you'd see each other and be like, hey, how's your team going? I'm like, oh yeah. Like, not sound good, thank you. Like,
Yeah, it's
shut
fun.
up. Right? So yeah, it was quite interesting, a lot of fun, but that's the fun. It's got to be a fun part. When it goes to like when you're being serious and you're playing and you're like, yeah, people are putting houses and their cars on things and they're betting away homes and like, yeah. So, maybe this
Play
can be a little
responsibly,
PSA,
kids.
but yeah, kind of keep an eye out on your loved ones and see if there is some gambling going on. If you notice someone likes to gamble, um, kind of keep an eye and see if they do need help or not, because I think that's important because we want to keep everyone safe and healthy and have fun because sports are fun. Whether
Sports
you're
are fun.
watching or playing, like just have fun. Yeah.
Well, we're on the hour and this is our season 6 finale. So we
Game
are
over.
back the end of the month. I think we're aiming for the 26th of
Yep.
November. We'll do another short little season for season 7.
Mhm.
And yeah, thank
It was
you.
a good season. Good wrap up.
Stick on the ice, folks.
And that's it. Oh, blowing the whistle, right?
Yep.
Thank you, all the shifters, for joining us this season. We look forward to seeing you next season. It's going to be fun. If you have any shifty topics that you would like us to cover, or if you would like to be a guest speaker, contact us. You can even comment below on any of our posts that you see wherever they're posted up, any social media, comment there, DM us, and we'll try and get you on, or use your idea for a show and we'll give you some little credits towards that.
Yep.
Dina, any other little things you want to throw out there?
No, I gave all my sporting advice right now. I think just be a good sport.
Yeah. Perfect. All right, guys, shifters over and out. We will see you in a couple weeks for season 7.
3 weeks.
All right. Good night, everyone. Bye.